say it and be like, oh, it is right. It's DUI mafia. Yes. And then we'll check and be like, yeah. I'm going to start checking this stuff out.
So what is it?
Good morning, everyone.
What is it?
Hey, Kim. How you doing?
Dysmorphia. Body dysmorphia.
Okay, today we're talking about body dysmorphia. And I really wanted to talk about this because with social media, we are constantly bombarded with images of perfection and images of what we're supposed to look like or what... Hello, I just thought the lipstick was cute. I didn't feel ugly without it. I thought it was a nice touch. Jeez and peas. All right. So, body dysmorphia is it's actually a mental disorder, right? It's called body dysmorphic disorder, so BDD. And when you have body dysmorphic disorder, you become fixated on an imperfection, whether it's real or not, it's perceived by you, or it could be something minor that in your mind is blown up. But you become fixated on that imperfection, basically obsessed until it becomes the only thing you see when you look in the mirror. Right?
So, like, if I have a mole.
Correct.
I have a mole, like, I actually have a mole right here. Right? So, but I'm not really worried about it. I know it's there. But if I went extreme on it, right? Trying to delete photos of me because of the mole.
Or trying to, like, cut it off yourself. Or to cover it up. Or going to the dermatologist. Not just saying that if you choose to go to the dermatologist to change something that you don't like. I'm talking about going repeatedly, getting it taken off, still being unhappy.
Okay.
You're just obsessed with something that for you consumes everything about the way that you're supposed to look. It could be acne. It could be your hair, thinning. It could be... I think you have a really big nose or you have really thin lips. And especially because one of the reasons that I wanted to talk about it today is that especially because plastic surgery, and not just plastic surgery, like the extremes of, getting breast enhancement or, getting your butt done, but much smaller things, especially for your face, are becoming more and more easily accessible. They're still pretty expensive, but you can for a more reasonable rate than definitely when I was younger, right? The only people that had any kind of procedures done were celebrities.
Okay.
Right? But now as I get older, and maybe I'm just becoming more aware, it was more people than I thought, but a lot of people, get Botox, a lot of people get these specialized facials, a lot of people get these treatments that are different that you can do, micro needling, micro blading. There's all of these things that you can do to change your appearance, and a lot of that comes from the imagery that we're fed on social media. And I think we all kind of have an idea that, in magazines or in TV, we understand that people have on makeup or that they're being strategically placed so that you can see certain things. But where I think some of the danger comes in on social media is the average person, just, me or you, has a lot more access to tools that can make you look perfect. So you have the Photoshop, you have these different things that you can do to make yourself look perfect, but you're saying that it's natural, right? So you're like, oh, all natural, no makeup today. But you've had 3 facials and you've edited the picture to make it look perfect. And so younger girls were consuming this and like, wow, that's what she looks like without makeup? Well, I look like this. What's wrong with me, right? And especially, one thing that I especially have an issue with is with, you guys may or may not have seen it, but it's like hashtag Fitspo, like fit inspiration. So, you'll see trainers or people who are working out, they're posting their workout videos, they're posting their progress. But what they don't tell you is all of the things that go into making them look the way that they do. And more importantly, what I really have an issue with is people who get surgeries to look a certain way and then claim that they've done it in the gym.
But couldn't that be for marketing purposes though?
Oh no, it's absolutely for marketing purposes.
Because I know, like think about this, and I don't want to sound offensive, but would you want a fat trainer? Like let's just say if you're trying to get healthy, and your trainer was a little obese, and they ran a commercial, with all the stuff you're trying to get rid of, they got, and it was like, come work out with me because I can get you right. Would you believe them?
Yeah, but what I'm saying is that, so if that person works out and they look good and then they're advertising, right? That's one thing. What I'm saying is if that person goes and gets liposuction, but then tells you, like, I've been in the gym 6 days a week for the last year and this is how I got the results, then you who come into them, you're feeling like, well, I'm doing the same thing, so I'm doing what you're saying, and I don't look like that. Right. And usually it's not the trainers that are doing it, it's the people, the IG models, the Instagram models who get famous for having a certain body, right? And that body has moved from being completely thin, like the pictures that we were looking at today or videos we were looking at of superstars.
Right.
It's changed to being more big boobs, tiny waist, big bottom, big thighs, and everything is smooth. So not only do you have this, hourglass figure, because even if you do have an hourglass figure, your legs are going to be a little bit bigger to match your bottom or whatever. But people like it, nowadays, you can have a huge bottom, but thick legs. Or you can have huge boobs.
Look like them, what's the little animals on Men in Black? Them little gremlin looking things. Them look like little skinny legs. And
Those little bugs.
Yeah, them little bug looking things.
You gotta hold no legs. You just gotta hold up a dude. Nah.
Yes, but it really is it's an issue because it's created a rise in these behaviors that are unhealthy. And I do want to share something with you that I just learned. I didn't know. As I was doing the research for this, I learned this, okay? So there are some communities, with everything good, there's negative as well. There are some communities on Instagram and in social media where there are people who are pro anorexia or pro bulimia, right? Now, if you're not familiar with anorexia, yes.
That means 4. Okay.
If you are not familiar with what anorexia is or bulimia, those are eating disorders where with anorexia people usually starve themselves. With bulimia or do other people force themselves to throw up to get rid of the food. And so in these communities, people may give you tips on how to do it or ways you can get around some of the negative side effects. And
really?
so yes, and so on social media they have started to cut back on these communities once of course they can identify them. So one of the hashtags is thinspo, like thin inspiration, and thinspogram. But if you search it, which I didn't know, if you actually search this on Instagram, there is a warning message that comes up, which I guess is is Instagram trying to
protect themselves,
and to protect the consumers. But there is a warning message that comes up, and it says, "Can we help? Posts with words or tags you're searching for often encourage behavior that can cause harm and even lead to death. If you're going through something difficult, we'd like to help. And you have the option to get support or to see the posts anyways." And I didn't know that even existed. So I thought that was pretty incredible that you could be stopped from searching for things that are, have been shown and proven to be harmful.
Right.
They need to watch that though, because when they get too thin, then they can't wear thongs anymore. They don't make thongs that little. Your thong will be hanging, and that ain't right. You know what I'm saying? So I feel you on the dysmorphia because they really need to get this stuff together. Straight up. They had the free ball.
You're so insightful.
Yeah, straight up. You ever seen a thin one with a thong on? And it be hanging.
Do you see what I have to deal with?
So I'm just being
Do you
real.
see what I have to deal with? We're trying to talk about something
This is
serious.
insightful.
And we're talking about
And
body
insightful.
dysmorphia with health with the camera. Come on.
Oh my God.
Come on, let it out.
By the way,
Okay.
you don't know what dysmorphia means. It means excessive compulsiveness trying to get your body right. Right? Am I right?
Yes,
Alright.
becoming fixated on an imperfection, that whether it's perceived or real.
Okay.
Fixated.
Okay, so it could just be in your mind, is what you're saying. And it'll go in like it's actually real. So you could be fixated on a particular, what? I'm trying to think something. Yeah.
Your nose.
Your nose. Okay,
Yeah,
your nose.
nose.
You can be fixated on your nose, and I'm like, your nose is cool. What are you talking about?
Right, your nose is fine,
But
everybody.
I got a hump in my nose. No, you don't. I have a hump in my nose.
Somebody trying to call Kim too.
Go ahead.
Shut up, they trying to
You
call.
want me to? You sure?
Answer off there, see who it is.
Okay.
Just in case. No, but I want to see. Benny is
Answer
crazy,
on
Miss
air.
Anita. He really is.
Answer on.
Okay, go ahead, answer.
All right, here we go. I'm scared. But
Body
it's-
dysmorphia.
It's probably Johnny.
Good morning. Hold on. I'm sorry. Good morning. Help with Kim.
Good
Hey.
morning.
Man.
Yeah, I get my body right by eating neck bone and cornbread, fried greens, and drinking Kool-Aid. And you don't drink that are instituted Budweiser and all the drinks and stuff that, folks be drinking all the time. You need to have something like, how to mix like soul food together or something like that. Do a segment on that.
You know what that sounds like?
Thank you
Kim?
so much, caller. Thank you. We appreciate
That's a case
you.
of PBLS.
Yeah.
I bet you got pop belly.
Thank you so much for calling. We really appreciate you, and we'll get to you another time. You just keep tuning in to Health with Kim every Wednesday at 8:30, and one day we're gonna address your concerns.
my
You know, up on
God.
the body
You said
dysmorphia.
answer it. Hey.
Up on the body dysmorphia, they do have guys that shape like bowling pins too, where they have like a size like built like us at the top, then it gets
Built like, hold on, built like us.
built like us at the top.
Hold on. You trying to say me and you are built the same way at the top?
No, I just said we're both equally slim. Now you're a little slimmer than me, but we both slim.
So some of the behaviors that come along with body dysmorphia, right? You may avoid mirrors.
Mm-hmm.
You may avoid social settings where you feel like your picture is going to be taken.
Mm-hmm.
You may wear excessive makeup. You may have repetitive behaviors such as washing your hands, washing your face, shaving, combing your hair. You're constantly concerned about how this flaw looks. So it consumes you to the point where it starts to affect your life, right? So it usually starts to rear its head in adolescence. And that's one of the reasons I wanted to talk about it. I know you guys have young daughters, and I know a lot of our callers have children that, you know, we're concerned about things they may be exposed to and how we can start to handle or tackle those things.
Mm-hmm.
If your kid is wanting to go to the doctor, they're thinking something is wrong with them, they constantly want to go to the doctor, they don't want to go out in public, or they don't want to go and do things with their friends because they're concerned of that, they're wearing certain types of clothing to try and cover their body instead of, and that, you know, at a certain age you shouldn't be trying to accentuate your body anyways, but if you constantly want to wear, you know, a huge dress that doesn't show any shape because you think that you're not curvy enough, or you don't have a nice bottom, or, you know, you're flat chested and everybody else is making fun of you, social media really allows you to be bombarded with those images, but also, like we've talked about a lot, I think, here on the show, is it allows bullying at really a different rate. So whereas in school somebody may have cracked on you, now you have access to the entire internet, right? So thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of people who can say, wow, you're ugly, wow, your head is big, wow, you don't have this, you don't have that, and people you don't even know, right? And it allows that feeling to be a little bit more overwhelming, because is it one person telling you something versus, you know, 10,000 people telling you something? It's a different feeling. That can definitely be overwhelming. Then that's when you start to get into those behaviors of trying to avoid social settings, avoiding taking your picture. And they have been doing research on, you know, selfies and the
research on selfies?
Yeah, on selfies and the use of the apps with filters and all these different things, that, because I don't know if you realize some of the filters, right, some people don't look as closely to them, especially I think the older generation who don't really understand what's going on anyways. Mm-hmm. Some of the filters you may see like little bunny ears on you, but if you look closely, the filters not only put the bunny ears on you, it also smooths your skin,
your face out,
lightens your complexion often, and it will change the shape of your face sometimes.
It'll glossy you up.
Yeah, it'll,
like you on a glossy.
They just
feels
look
like
exactly.
The look of it is different than.
But you have to be careful of that, because there are a lot of girls now who only post themselves using those filters, right? And so in the filter, your nose is straighter, your jawline is more prominent, your skin is completely smooth, and you're a lighter complexion. So when you see a picture of yourself without the filter, you think it's a bad picture of yourself, right? You're like, oh, this is not a good picture of me, or I don't look good in this picture, because what you're starting to perceive as positive or attractive is not real.
I'm so glad you addressed that, because I get tired of seeing these dudes on there with these bunny ears. They ain't got no business. I know we all created equal, but dudes ain't got no business with no bunny ears or no rabbit nose with the whiskers.
Well, I got I got bunny ears by association. Does that count? I didn't try it. I was in a picture, and
they put them on you.
They put it on me.
Well, now that happened without no control of your own.
I'm just saying.
But if
you gonna give me a pass for that one?
Well, because somebody put them on you.
Yeah.
But what you should have did is had a written request and said, please take down me with them bunny ears.
I couldn't do that.
Or else.
Not with this one.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
That was the one right there.
Okay, so to give you some evidence, there's a new piece that's called Selfies, Living in the Era of Filtered Photographs. And one of the things that they found is from the American Academy of Facial, Plastic, and Reconstructive Surgery. This survey found that 55% of surgeons in facial plastic surgery have met with patients who are requesting surgeries to enhance their appearance in selfies. So they're showing them the pictures. Yeah, they're showing them the pictures of themselves with the filter on, or with it, and saying, you know, this is what I want my nose to look more like this. I want my face to look more like this. And what I'm saying to you is that those procedures are a lot. There are a lot of invasive procedures that people can get done to their face that I think we don't know about because they're changing and they've become more popular in recent years. So people do get the Botox or things to smooth out certain areas, or the fillers obviously have become more popularized, the lip fillers. So people are getting their lips, made bigger, and it also makes your lips bigger. It makes your lips smoother, obviously, because you're stretching out the skin. Yeah. So your lips are smoother, and it's a completely different look. So if you look right now on Instagram, you look for makeup, you look for lipstick, you're going to see, I guarantee it, you're going to see somebody who has some lip fillers in as one of the models.
Yeah.
You're going to see people showing you different techniques to make your lips look more plump.
It's just amazing to me how far it has come that women are getting their lips filled.
Exactly.
With something to make them bigger and fuller, but wait a minute.
A few years ago,
you
dog
used to dog my moms and grandmoms and aunties out
so
for having
true.
full and beautiful lips.
So
I
true.
don't understand that.
That's what people normally do when they be hating. They try to talk about the stuff that they hate, but then
because they don't have it, right?
Yeah.
And then turn around and go get it.
But now it is a couple folks around here.
Just interesting.
Where they face doesn't fail now, that it might need to.
Oh look, it's a lot of females and some dudes that get that Botox on their face, and I'm like, oh my god, you done got Botox. I was watching what is it? Young and the Restless. Lady been on Young and the Restless since I was in college. Beautiful woman, and I'm like, ugh, she's Botoxed up. Her cheeks all fat, the skinny, eyes. It's like, it's not a good look.
But see,
to me.
But that is extreme. There's a lot more people that you have seen in person, you've seen face to face, that have Botox that you wouldn't
even know?
No, it's a lot more subtle.
Okay.
Instead of getting it done extremely, it's just, there's less wrinkles right here, or there's less wrinkles right here, and you're like, wow, she looks so young.
Okay.
She looks so good for her age.
I think
it's more like that. Then some people do.
Botox. That's all.
Some people do Botox also for issues with sweating. A lot of people don't know that you can get Botox in your underarms if you if you sweat too much or in your hands. They use it as a treatment.
Cheaper to buy deodorant.
No, but it doesn't stop. Deodorant doesn't stop you from sweating.
No, Tussie do though.
Okay.
You ever use Tussie?
No, I have not.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
You stupid.
Tussie was created in the summer of 1956.
No, stop. We're not going into the history of Tussie right now.
You apply it with 4 fingers and you rub it gently up under your arm, and it stops all activity for at least 3 days.
That's not healthy either, because you need to. Sweating is a part of your body's metabolism and getting things out. It not only cools down your body, but it gets out toxins. And that's why sometimes you sweat, is to get that stuff out of you. Just like if you have drank, you drank too much alcohol, you start sweating, or you have to use the bathroom, you have to throw up. It's your body trying to get rid of those toxins. So those are your body's natural processes to get things that it doesn't need out of the system. But anyways, just to review, body dysmorphic disorder, an obsessive preoccupation with a perceived flaw in appearance. And we're talking about how social media has an impact on that.
So what is some of I don't know if it's a cure for it. What is some of the things that we as somebody sitting next to somebody that has this condition, what can we do? What do we do?
I think as somebody, if you're worried about somebody who you know and you love and you care about that is experiencing this, I think therapy is definitely something that helps.
Okay.
Having somebody direct you, because sometimes it's more. It's not just somebody that's vain, right? It's not just somebody that's just looking in the mirror, loves the way they look. It's somebody who hates the way that they look, and they're obsessed with or shameful about the way that they look. And so they're doing things to change that. And so you definitely can help by encouraging them, but often they won't believe it anyways. So saying you look great doesn't mean anything to somebody who looks in the mirror and sees something different. Yeah. So, but you can be encouraging, and you can try to gently stop them from negative behaviors or unhealthy behaviors. And I think for those of us who haven't been diagnosed with anything, right, we can still try to practice some healthy behaviors, like taking pictures of ourselves without filters and considering ourselves beautiful, not wearing makeup every day, looking at yourself the way that your body is and being excited about that, finding clothes that fit your body the way that it is instead of trying to buy a size smaller to get into it. There's certain things that we can. I know we talk a lot about women with this, but men suffer from this as well. And of course, men feel pressure to be muscular, to be tall, to have a lot of hair, to do all of these things. And if you don't fit that standard or that stereotype, you may feel left out or feel like you don't. You're not considered attractive. And so we definitely want to be careful. We want to be encouraging to the people around us, and we want to not participate in these images and concepts of beauty that are unrealistic.
Okay.
You think it always been that way, or you think it's now because we got all this media and this stuff where we can see it, we just see it more? Do you think it always existed like that?
I think it has always existed. There's always been well, not always in magazines, but there's always been media to a certain degree, right? So there's always been newspapers, and there's TV and magazines, and we've been talking for years how models were much thinner than the average population, and so people were aspiring to those because that's what was featured and showcased as beautiful. Certain skin tones, certain hair types. You never saw anybody with bad skin, on TV. You never saw anybody with a gap on TV, in her teeth on TV. You never saw anybody with certain body types on TV. And I think that is changing, but social media gives you a lot more access, and we consume media a lot more, especially the younger people who haven't known a world without social media. The younger generation, they are consuming images of what they look like, what their friends look like, what celebrities look like on a constant basis, and it's very difficult to separate what is real from what is fake. Like Cardi B is a perfect example. Cardi, beautiful girl, right? I think she's gorgeous, but her body, like she's very small. She's very little, she's very skinny, right? But she's gotten her bottom done, and she's gotten her breast done. So of course there's some women who naturally are slim, but they're curvy. They do have a fuller bust and they have a fuller bottom, but not at those rates. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. So she naturally is gonna have abs and a small waist because she's built the other things on. As opposed to women who naturally have a bottom and breast and they're trying to get their waist down, Yeah. So we just have to be aware of what we're consuming, making sure that we understand some of it isn't real, and just be aware of that. Like I always say, arm yourselves with knowledge, and be aware of your friends and certain things that you see that they may be doing or endorsing. Just try to be gentle with yourselves, love the way that you look. I know it's easier said than done, but try to take at least one step a day to embrace yourself the way you look, without anything fake, without any makeup, any lashes, any hair. Embrace the skin that you're in.
I don't know now, Cam. Some of them folks, they definitely need it. And if they need an investment in it, they might need to do it.
Goodbye.
Some folks come out the house regular, you'll scare the population.
Oh my God. All right, Health with Kim every Wednesday. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Today it was body dysmorphia.
That's right.
Body dysmorphia.
That's right.
And we're gonna post it up, right?
Absolutely. I'm about to post it on my Instagram, and then of course it'll be on Facebook as well.
All right. Thanks, Kim. Every Wednesday. Every Wednesday, Health with Kim. All right. We gotta check the traffic after we get all that.
Thank you, everyone, for listening.
Of course.
Do you have any questions that I didn't ask?
With DJ J.
I appreciate you guys.
Next.